One of the most frustrating things with trading is you do your technical analysis. The market does almost exactly what you anticipated, but you're not in the trade. And today I'm going to cover 4 trades that we've done over the last 30 days that made over an 18R. However, we ended up minus 2R down, where R may represent £1,000 of risk. So rather than making £18,000, we lost 2,000. And how do you think about that and the whole review process? Because one of the biggest challenges and what I've seen many mistakes made is when losses occur, judgment is made and it's a dangerous decision zone. Do you strategy hop, change the whole thing, or do you just reevaluate, just see were any errors made, re-enter the trade, or just move on and wait for the next high probability trade setup? So we're going to learn how to review near misses without damaging your trading edge. Changing the wrong thing can be devastating. So the first trade was a short-term trade. It was an oil trade on the short side. So we were short in this particular market. It was on the 4th of August. And it was a high probability trade setup. It met our pattern, price, time, and momentum conditions. We were trading a potential wave 5 on the way down. So this was the actual order itself. So we did our analysis, and what we anticipated with this particular trade is that potentially the market is making a wave 1, 2, wave 3, wave 4, and we're anticipating a wave 5. So the market is in a position to make a wave 4. We've placed our order. We said we want to go short below this low, stop loss above the high. And if the market follows through, we'll ride the trend. If it goes above this high without getting triggered, then we need to cancel the order. Now that's exactly what happened. The market moved up, went above the potential wave 4. So then we cancel the order, stand aside, wait for the next high probability trade setup. Now, in the ideal world, what I would have liked to have seen is that the market did make some type of sell-off, a minor pullback, and we get to re-enter into this part of the trade. But that didn't occur. What occurred instead was a pretty aggressive move to the downside as we anticipated. So in other words, this was our entry. We countered our order over here. The market ended up doing what we anticipated. It would have been roughly a plus 3.3R thereabouts, the way we manage our trade, but we weren't there. So the big question is, did we make a mistake? Did we miss anything? Would we have done anything differently looking at the data at hand? Well, the answer is no. We planned that trade and traded our plan, and we focused on the process, and the next setup did not occur. Now, if we had this sell-off and we had a clean pullback, similar to this type of pullback, we could have taken another entry at this point. That's actually what we were waiting for, but it didn't occur. And then the market took off. And by the time it's in this zone, the trade's gone. If you want to see how the pattern edge actually behaves over a full run of real trades, click the first link in the description. It takes you to my FastPass Simulator. You plug in your starting balance and risk per trade, and it will replay my last 100 plus live trades using the exact framework. You'll see the full equity curve play out. That includes winners, losers, and break evens, not just the highlights. That way you get a realistic feel for the journey and what this edge can and cannot do for your account size. It's historical data only, not a guarantee of future results. So it's just to say, stand aside, wait for the next high probability trade setup. We planned that trade, traded a plan, perfect. The pound Japanese yen trade. This ended up doing around an 8.3R. I actually hit a 14R, but where we would have exited would have been around an 8.3R. Now, we ended up break even before the move occurred. Now, this can be incredibly frustrating, even for myself, but we want to have a quick review process of saying, did we miss anything? Did we make any mistakes? And in this one, the answer is no. So it's pound yen. We anticipated a wave 3 or C. It was a short trade on the 20th of July. We held the trade for 4 days. So it was a 4-5 day trade and we broke even. This was the trade plan. We saw this initial move to the downside. We saw this as a potential end of a major correction and we're starting a bear trend. We saw an initial ABC pullback. We had an order below a swing low, stop loss above the swing high. We had to anticipate this high because the high hadn't been made. And what we're anticipating is a follow through. Now, in the ideal world, we want a strong immediate follow through towards the downside. That's what we want to see after an ABC correction. Now, what ended up occurring, the market moved more sideways than it did immediately down. So in other words, we got triggered into the trade. It's a bit sloppy in this zone. And at this zone, we moved our stop loss to break even to say if the market follows through to the downside, great, we'll ride it. If it doesn't, we break even and then we wait for the next high probability trade setup. Now, the official setup didn't occur, but what ended up occurring a couple of days later was that the market did an incredible move to the downside. Now, we were anticipating a strong rollover, mainly because the prior pattern structure was something called an ending fifth wave diagonal. So to the left of this chart was a market movement, something like this. And when it's like this at the last part of a trend, the next move to the downside can be quite extreme. So we wanted to capture this movement, but we got stopped out. It was break even, but we would have trailed our stop loss to this high, then to this high, and then to this high, and then eventually would have got stopped out. So there was a 14R thereabouts. So that's if you're risking $1,000 for a single R in terms of your risk reward, that would have been a $8,000 trade. But instead we broke even. So we lose no money, but we missed out on this. Incredibly frustrating, especially when you do get that aggressive rollover and a follow through as well. Did we make any mistakes? Well, no. Again, reviewing this process, we had this nice move to the downside, this ABC correction. We would have liked to have seen an immediate follow through, but instead what occurred was something what's called a complex correction. Anything other than a simple ABC zigzag. So it was a good business decision to eradicate risk and to wait for the next setup. Now, what I would have liked to have seen is some type of cleaner ABC structure without this high being exceeded, and we could have gotten over here. Now, in hindsight, we could say, look at this correction and say this was the end of the correction up over here, but that wasn't obvious to see, and the momentum wasn't in play and everything else. So great trade, no money made, 0R. In other words, break even. I see that as a refund. You get your money back and you get to go again for free. The third example was a gold trade. Gold, again, a 3.3R thereabouts miss. Now, this one got stopped out at full risk. Now, this was a spectacular trade, and I'll take it every day of the week because more often than not, it tends to play out. We actually took a wider order with this particular trade. So this trade was a potential wave 3 or C on the upside. It was on the 30th of July. It was only in the trade for a day. We go, great, we're happy with this. And we did something called a second degree entry. So let's break this down. So what we saw with gold was potentially the end of a larger degree ABC pullback, and we're looking for a much larger move towards the upside. We had this initial move up and what looks like to be a pretty clean ABC pullback. This is like bread and butter. This is what we want to see time and time again. We went for a wide order, so above this high, stop loss below the low. And that gives us a bit more safety, lower risk reward, but it means there's a higher probability that this trend will play out if we get triggered and if we get the follow through. But what ended up occurring, and it's easy to miss this, is that we got triggered into the trade, no immediate follow through, the market pulled back and then stopped us out. So at this point, it's a full risk loss, full cost of admission. So if you're risking 1,000 to see if you're right, lose 1,000. That's the cost of doing business in the business of trading. And then we're waiting for the next high probability trade setup. This one I'll put under the bracket of it's just unlucky. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. We just got stopped out, just a bit unlucky. And then the market ended up doing what we anticipated. Because it was a wide order, this would have been a 3.3R. So it's a big move, but quite a wide order as well. So again, reevaluating this, going, do we need to change our edge? Did we miss anything? Well, the only thing that I consider is, because we had to make this decision at the time of placing the trade, is do we place our stop below the beginning of wave one? That's the safest point. Or do we put it at the the end of wave two? Now, the pros and the cons: beginning of wave one, it's a wider risk reward. So that's the downside, but it's safer. And in this case, we would have got the move, right? So in this case, in hindsight, that would have been better. The downside is, again, risk reward. So we always go for this when it's clean and clear, the tightest stop loss, and what would invalidate the trade thesis. If the price goes below this point over here, it invalidates the trade, we get stopped out, and then we wait for the next high probability trade setup. Then last but not least, a market that's highly correlated with gold is silver. They're not identical, but they're very similar. One tends to lead the other, and we want to take advantage of the information at hand. And we can trade both. So silver, potential 3R, we took a full risk loss. In other words, risking 1,000 to find out if you're right, lost 1,000. as opposed to making 3,000. That's a 4,000 pound difference. But do we need to change anything? Well, let's take a look. So this was also on the 30th of July. The trade actually got stopped out a few days later on the 3rd of August. We had this initial move to the upside. It's a pretty steep pullback, but nonetheless still a textbook ABC type structure. With this scenario, we did take the beginning of wave one as the stop loss. And this one I would regard as incredibly unlucky, and you'll see why in just a moment. The end of that move and the end of this move is quite close, so we might as well go for the safer of the two. But what ended up occurring is that the market did trigger us in. So we got this initial move to the upside at this point, looking quite good. But then we got a steep pullback, didn't quite stop us out, came up and just stopped us out. Did we do anything wrong? Would we do anything different? But the answer is no. This is all day long. Take these trades. If 10 of these occurred, I'll take all 10. Impulsive move up, potential end of a move, ABC correction, above a wave B high. One of my favorite absolute setups, and more often than not, they tend to play out. And then what did occur? Well, the move did happen, right? It's almost, to rub salt into the wound is literally just stopped us out. There was no real opportunity to get immediately back into the trade. Ideally, what I would like to have seen is some type of move up, some type of pullback, almost similar to this, where we could get in a tight order to ride the next move up. But again, made a nice strong move. Is this a wave three? Maybe, maybe not. There's a couple of different things, but we would have trailed our stop loss down over here and got tighter to the market as we've got what looks like to be a clean 5-wave structure. So reviewing this process, it's easy to look at this, because when I say focus on process and not the P&L, well, this is the P&L. It's a -1R. But without the nuance, you go, well, I lost money, must be a bad trade. No, this is a fantastic trade and we'll take it all day long. Nothing needs to change. We followed the edge perfectly, pattern, price, time, and momentum. We're just unlucky, got stopped out before the move. So we planned that trade and traded that plan. And again, these 4 trades can make or break a month. So we're talking about a potential 18R versus a -2R. Now, obviously, if you just look at that number, I made 18,000, I lost 2,000, we go, month, good month. But it was actually very close, and it can be either case. And that's really important to note as well. The thing I want to leave with is the only thing that we got control over is identifying the edge, trading the edge consistently, and then we let the market do what it's going to do. So we plan a trade, trade your plan, focus on the process. That's all we've got control over. And we have to ignore the P&L. Obviously, we want to make money because good processes can still produce losing trades. We've seen that today. A bad process, like in terms of making mistakes and bad trades, can have winning trades, but they don't tend to survive long term. Review the decision, learn the lesson if there's any to be learned, and sometimes just like we did the job correctly, no action required, then move on. The best thing in our job is to just trade well and trade consistently. And then we let the P&L take care of itself. Before you go, if you want to see how the pattern edge actually behaves over a full run of real trades, click the first link in the description. It takes you to my FastPass Simulator. You plug in your starting balance and risk per trade, and it will replay my last 100 plus live trades using the exact framework. You'll see the full equity curve play out. That includes winners, losers, and break evens, not just the highlights. That way you get a realistic feel for the journey and what this edge can and cannot do for your account size. It's historical data only, not a guarantee of future results, but is the exact edge we use on our live desk every day. When you're ready to go deeper and unlock the full 4-factor framework, pattern, price, time, and momentum, plus live trading desk for 30 days, the details are on that page. Otherwise, click through to the next lesson in this playlist and keep building your pattern mastery.